Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing my TBR redo for June, although it is July when I'm filming this. Y'all, I'm behind on these. We already have addressed that. So if you're not familiar, this is my series where I look back at my old TBRs and I complete reading the books that I didn't finish. This is episode 4. I believe. And so far, every month has been very successful. I have been able to read all of the books that I didn't finish. However, I do know that last summer was not the best for me. I know that I didn't do well on my TBRs, so I think we're gonna start hitting the months where I had a lot of incomplete books. Let's just get into it. Let me pull up my June 2020 TBR. The first one we are picking is this. So this one is a hyped book. So let's see. I wasn't sure I was gonna pick this one. I thought, you know, this is definitely the most hyped. And it's this one, Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Okay, here's the thing. I knew this was coming. I didn't know which month it was coming, but I knew it was coming. I have been avoiding telling you guys something, but I have to make a confession. Come on, let's have a little seat. This is serious. I unhauled this book. So I did start reading it. I read like 150 pages. I was vlogging it also, and I just could not get into it. I don't know why. I couldn't do it. And then I was planning on revisiting it at some point, but then when I moved into this apartment, I got rid of a ton of books, and this was one of the books that I got rid of. One, because it's just so massive, it took up so much space, and I figured if I was in the future to want to read this, I would just get the paperback. But I don't know if I want to read this. Every time I thought about it, it just like made me break out in sweats. And I read like a decent amount of it and I wasn't caring. I feel really bad. Like the amount of comments that I've been ignoring of people asking me, did I ever finish reading this? Am I ever going to read it? Or saying that you knew it was gonna be on an upcoming TBR redo and you were excited. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. Oh my god, why am I doing this? The first book I'm picking on my TBR. Okay, I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. We're all good. So the first book, Priory of the Orange Tree. Okay. I feel like I'm already gonna regret that, but you think? All right, the next one is, ooh, okay, Rainbow. I only have one green book here. So The Midnight Lie by Marie Rutkowski. It's kind of, so I read that. I really enjoyed it, actually. It was sapphic. The love interest in it was top tier. The next one I'm going to choose is this one, Standalone. I'm going to choose The Brutal Truth by Lee Winter. I read this, I loved it. I do not talk about this book enough. It was probably one of my favorite sapphic romances. It was like Devil Wears Prada, but if it was gay or gayer. Devil Wears Prada is kind of gay. If it was explicitly gay, there we go. If the gayness was not a subtext. But yeah, I gave that book 5 stars. I really loved it. I picked sapphic. So I have 3 options left that I brought with me that are sapphic. Let's see. I'm gonna go with The Winter Duke. I read that. I didn't really like it. I think I gave it like 2 or 3 stars. I mean, it was fine. It wasn't memorable. I genuinely cannot even tell you what it was about. This one, we got romance again. For this one, I'm going to pick Meet Cute Club by Jack Harbin. So I obviously read this, I loved this, loved Jack Harbin. This was such an adorable, sweet romance. Next one I'm going to choose is this one, Most Recent Purchase. My most recent purchase actually is being delivered tomorrow, and that is Weight of the Stars by Kate Ancrum. I read this, loved it. It's one of my all-time favorite books. Kate Ancrum really is becoming like a top favorite author of mine, but this one was probably my favorite. I'm already looking at Priory of the Orange Tree and like wondering what I've done to myself. Still wondering. Okay, this one is Young Adult. That one, I guess I'll choose The Good Luck Girls by Charlotte Nicole Davis. Okay, I read this. I totally forgot about this book. I really liked this. It's like a, it was kind of like a fantasy western. It was very unique, the world, and it was setting up what I think will be a very great enemies to lovers female-female romance. Actually, this is another one. I don't know if the sequel has come out yet. The Sisters of Reckoning. Okay, so there is a sequel. It comes out in August. Okay. Okay, I'm excited for that. Next one is first book in a series. So for that one, let's choose Steel Crow Saga. Okay, I didn't read this. I unhauled it. Actually, like a week before I filmed this TBR is when a bunch of stuff came out about the author, about him and his, I don't really know, his misconduct, his harassment, I don't know. But I unhauled that book right away after I read a lot of disturbing things. So I think we should stop there. Otherwise, I'm probably going to hate myself so much. Oh my God, okay. So that means I have nothing to read for this video because the 2 books that I didn't read, I have unhauled. In the very first episode of TBR RE-DO, I set up rules that I don't think that I've repeated, so if you didn't watch episode 1, here were the rules for this series. Number 1, I had to read at least half of the unread books, and then the other rule was if I had completed all the books or unhauled the ones that I didn't complete, then I would choose a book off of my top 21 of 2021 video, and I would read that. So, since this is the first month that this has actually happened, let me pull up that video. And I think what I'm gonna do is I am going to go through the comments and tally up how many times each book was mentioned, and I will read the one that was mentioned the most. Okay. So out of the 21 books that I had on that list, there's only 12 of them that I have left to read. So that's actually pretty good. I'm like about halfway through the list and we're halfway through the year. I feel very good about that actually. So I tallied everything up. One of them by far was the most mentioned. I actually think I knew it was behind me. And that was the Boneshard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. Kind of surprising that this was the most mentioned because Strange the Dreamer was on there. That did have a lot of mentions. City of Brass had a lot of mentions. Empire of Sand surprisingly had a lot of mentions, but this one had the most. I'm very, very excited to read this. Actually, this is a sapphic fantasy, and to be honest, that's kind of all I know about it. I'm going to be vlogging my experience reading this. I feel like this would be a fun book to vlog just because I think fantasy books are sort of more interesting to vlog about because there tends to be more to talk about. So I'm actually really excited with the way that this is going. Good morning, guys. So I am going to start reading the Boneshard Daughter. It's currently Saturday, so I feel like I can just read this weekend. I also have the audiobook checked out for this, which surprisingly, the audiobook is not very long. It's only like 13 hours, which I feel like for a fantasy book is pretty short. I also think that this weekend I want to do some self-care because I really haven't been feeling good the past couple of weeks. So the first step of my self-care weekend I've already done, and that is to get into some very comfy lounge clothes. And this particular top is from Tommy John, who is actually sponsoring today's video. So I've worked with Tommy John in the past, and I really, really love their loungewear. Since the last video that I did with them, I've pretty much been wearing the pieces that they sent me on a daily basis because they are honestly the comfiest, softest pieces of clothing that I have. I really, really like how they have a bunch of matching sets, but all of their clothing really is made to go together. So sometimes I like to wear the matching sets, and other times I like to mix everything up and create so many different comfy lounge outfits. This particular top that I'm wearing, I love. I have this in the short sleeve version as well, and that one is black, and I love that one, but I really wanted a long sleeve. It's also this really, really pretty light pink color, but they sent me a bunch of new pieces. I'm obsessed with these pink lounge pants. They're so comfy. They also sent me these gray joggers, which I also have in black, and they are by far my favorite joggers. And these oatmeal pajama pants are so, so unbelievably soft. And they also sent this light pink tank top that is one of the softest things I've ever felt in my life. So if you want to get your own Tommy John pieces, you can click the link in my description and use my code RileyMarie2 to get 20% off plus free shipping on your order. All right, so time to start the Boneshard Daughter. I still don't know what this is about, so let's read the synopsis together. I feel like a lot of people do not like when booktubers read the synopsis, but I kind of like it, especially with fantasy books when like they're complicated and I don't really know how to describe it. Let's find out together what this is about. In an empire ruled by bone-shard magic, the former heir to the emperor will fight to reclaim her magic and her place on the throne. The Tsukai dynasty has ruled the Phoenix Empire for over a century, their mastery of bone-shard magic powering the monstrous content constructs that maintain law and order. But now, the Emperor's rule is faltering, and revolution is sweeping across the Empire's many islands. Trapped in a palace of locked doors and secrets, Lynne is the Emperor's daughter, but not his heir. Her childhood memories have been erased by a mysterious illness. The only way to reclaim her birthright and to overthrow her despotic father is to master the art of the very Boneshard magic that his subjects fear. But the secret behind her father's power are dark and deep, and the magic he wields does not come without a cost. When the revolution reaches the gates of the palace itself, Lynne must decide how far she's willing to go to claim her throne and save her people. That sounds really good. I do have a couple of questions. One, I have no idea what Boneshard magic means. It was referenced quite a few times in the synopsis. Don't know what that means. Excited to find out. So I'm gonna read the first couple of chapters and then I will come back and check in with my first impressions. This map is so beautiful. The Phoenix Empire in the Tsukai Dynasty. So I've read 55 pages and this is so interesting so far. So the synopsis pretty much only talked about one of the main characters. However, this is a multi-POV book. So far, I've read 4 different POVs, although it seems like there are 2 point of views that are like the main characters. So one of them is Lynne, who was mentioned in the synopsis. She is the Emperor's daughter, and a couple years back she got sick. She had some sort of illness and it caused her to lose all of her memories. So the Emperor no longer trusts her enough to name her as his heir, and he has a lot of secrets. One of them revolving around this Boneshard magic, which is magic that is imbued into these constructs, which are these chimera-like animals. They're all kind of animal hybrids of different animals, and like some of them have human parts, and they are given life and controlled by these bone shards, which are forcibly taken by the citizens of the Empire. They all have to go through this ceremony when they're a kid, and a piece of their bone is removed from their skull, which is a very dangerous process. A lot of them die during it. So it's not something that the citizens like. They're very much in fear. So Lynne wants to overthrow her father, but the only way that she can do that is to learn this bone shard magic, which he won't teach her unless she can prove that she got her memories back. So she basically is like trying to get her memories back, trying to get more information. And then the second, I think, main character, his name is Jovis, and I personally am enjoying his storyline a lot more. So he is a smuggler. I really feel like the vibes that I'm getting from him, he is like a mixture of Geralt from The Witcher and Flynn Rider from Tangled because he's very much like grumpy and he wants to do things on his own, but he has a heart underneath that. And because he's a well-known smuggler, he's known for smuggling children out of the Empire so that they don't have to participate in the bone shard ceremony. And so every time he is recognized, people like want him to save their kids and he can't say no, so he just reluctantly is like saving all of these children and really grumpy about it. But he's also very like savvy and he tricks people, and that's how he is a good smuggler, because he tricks the military and the constructs. But his storyline basically is that aside from the whole smuggling business, he is trying to find his wife, who went missing many years ago, and the only clue that he has of where his wife went was this ship with blue sails, and he's never seen the ship again. No one has seen it or talked about it, but at the start of this book he sees the ship. This is the only clue that he has of where his wife disappeared to, and he desperately wants to find her. So yeah, those are the 2 main POVs. I don't really know how they connect yet. I don't think that they do so far. But yeah, I mean, so far I'm really enjoying this. I feel like the world is a little bit complicated, but I almost think that because Lynne, as the main character, like doesn't have her memories, I feel like as she is learning things, we're also learning those things. So it doesn't feel like it's info dumping at all. It feels like a very natural progression to learn everything. Oh my God, okay, I just met my favorite character. Probably one of my favorite characters in any book. So Jovi, the smuggler, when he was like escaping something, he has a ship. So he travels on a boat and he saw this like little kitten in the water. So he picked it up and saved it and then realized it was not a kitten. It's this weird creature. He described it as looking like an otter, but it also had horns, and he named it Mephi. And you guys, it can talk. And it is like the cutest little thing in the world. I really love animal companions in books, but like animal companions that can talk, they're a whole other level. And I swear to God, if anything happens to him, Andrea, Stewart, I'm coming for you. So I am going to take a little bit of a break to have lunch. I made some Parmesan risotto and I'm gonna find something to watch. Right now is like my favorite time of year because all of my favorite reality shows are on right now. Love Island, The Bachelorette, Below Deck, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Big Brother. I think those are the main ones that I'm watching right now. Ooh, okay, I think this is what I'm gonna watch, actually. Forget they're all the reality shows, because I think I'm caught up on all of them. I've been rewatching Sex and the City, which is interesting. I really love this show. However, of like all the shows that I watched, like from this time period, this one definitely doesn't hold up the most. It's super problematic. It's kind of tough to watch sometimes, but I still love this show. I have a lot of nostalgia for it, so I'm gonna watch that. So I am like 200 pages in now, and I haven't mentioned this yet. The book is sapphic, however, it's not as sapphic as I thought it was going to be because the sapphic relationship are two of the supporting characters. So two of the like side POV characters are in a established relationship, and I don't know, I'm sort of struggling with their point of views because I don't know that I like them that much. They're not exactly giving me what I wanted, but at the same time I'm kind of like glad how their character, like the direction that their characters are going, because basically they're already in an established relationship together, but they're struggling with their relationship because they come from very, very different backgrounds. One of them is a lot more privileged. The other one really like grew up with absolutely nothing. And so they don't view the world in the same way, and that's causing a lot of friction between the two of them. And so most of their chapters are like them arguing. So I don't love them. However, I realized that a lot of like the sapphic representation or the female-female relationships that I've read in books are super, super like perfect and idealized. And it's like, this is a real relationship and they're having real struggles and problems, and like maybe it's not the most exciting thing to read about, but I appreciate it. Like, it's a sentiment that I see a lot where people sort of like romanticize female-female relationships in a sense that they can't be bad or problematic or abusive or have issues because they're women. I don't know where this tangent is going off on. I just appreciate that I'm getting a different type of sapphic representation. Does anyone else understand what I'm trying to say? Or am I just like getting so deep in my own head? So I have this little package here that I'm super excited to open because I got some candles sent to me from Shay, who has a shop called Sapphire Moon Studios where she makes candles, and she asked if she could send me some. Listen, I am a huge candle person, but at my old apartment, I was not allowed to burn candles, even though I still did sometimes, but in this apartment, I am allowed to. So I'm excited to have some candles. She sent me a lot. She sent me, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 candles. I really hope you enjoy your new candles. I tried to select a good variety and gave you a few from each collection. I've also created a discount code that you can share or use yourself. Okay, so I have a discount code that is Riley10 that you guys can use if you want some candles. Ooh, also these cute little stickers that say love is love. So let me open these. She packaged them up really well. I was kind of worried that they would be broken because the box was like a little bit beat up when I got it. Oh my God, so cute. They're all like wrapped. Okay, so I think that I'm going to quickly unwrap all of these because they're like really well wrapped, and then I will show you what they are. Ooh, cute. Okay, this first one that I opened is the By pride flag. She asked if I wanted any of the pride flags, so I told her the bisexual one. Ooh, it smells good too. I feel like I don't even want to burn this one. This one just looks so pretty. Night Drive, which is forest pine, night air, leather, and fresh cut wood. Ooh, that smells really good. Fresh baked cookies, which is French vanilla, snickerdoodle, sugar cookie, and gingerbread. Oh my god, I think this one might be my favorite. Oh my god, that smells so good. It totally smells like snickerdoodle. Dreaming of Vacay, which is pina colada, papaya, ocean breeze, and coconut. Ooh, that smells really good. I love coconut scents. Fruit Bowl, which is grapefruit, passion fruit, lime, orange, and strawberry. Ooh, this would be really good for summer. Yeah, oh, that smells so good. The last one is Cafe Bakery, which is hints of vanilla, coffee cake, and sugar cookie. Oh my god, that is so good. It totally smells like a cafe. So yeah, if you want to get any of these candles, I will link her shop down below, Sapphire Moon Studios, and my coupon code, Riley10. Thank you so much, Shay, for sending these to me and for making me this little buy candle. The next self-care thing that I'm gonna do is in my fridge. When I was a kid, there was this chocolate milk that I had at, I think, one of my friends' houses, and it was one of the best things that I've ever drank in my life. And I always would ask my mom if we could get it, but she would always say no because it was kind of expensive. Now, as an adult, I feel like I owed it to myself to buy the things that I wanted as a kid that I wasn't allowed to have. And one of them is that chocolate milk. So it's this Promised Land Midnight Chocolate Milk. It is so good. I can only drink a little bit at a time though, because it's like super rich and amazing and so good. Like, oh, look at that. Look at how amazing. Oh, but it's just so good. Another thing I was never allowed to have is the purple grape juice because it stains really bad. My mom was always worried that I would like spill it on the carpet or on the couch. So I was only allowed to have the white grape juice, which is nowhere near as good as this one. So cheers. Loki. Hey. I have like less than 50 pages left. I have some theories. I have a couple theories. But also, there was just one like really big plot twist that I did not see coming, and I'm kind of shook by it. So I'm wondering if that's gonna be the only plot twist or if that was just like the first of many. We will see, because I'm almost done, but I'm loving this book. Okay, my next self-care step. Oh, you can see my Chase lounge back there. It's in my hallway because my office is currently a disaster because I'm organizing all my books. So I didn't have anywhere to put it. So it's just been sitting in my hallway back there. I also need to put the legs on. It looks weird. That's why I feel like I needed to point it out. But the next step in my self-care is I'm going to make a pina colada because you know what? It's 6:30. Pina colada is like my favorite drink. Ooh. I normally like to put ice cream, like a little bit of vanilla ice cream in my pina coladas. Oh wait, I have frozen pineapples I can put in. I have some frozen pineapple. I feel like this angle is boring. Okay, I feel like that's fine, that's enough. I'm also gonna put in some coconut milk, just since I have it. Oh, look how smooth that is. Ooh, is this cup gonna be big enough? Uh-oh. Well, I have extra. Oh my god, it's so good! So, I finished the Boneshard Daughter in one day. I'm like shocked that I read this whole thing in one day. But it was so good, and I was like, I never wanted to put it down. The way that Andrea Stewart wrote this was like, every single chapter kind of ended on a little cliffhanger, and so when you would switch from one character's point of view to another, that point of view would end in a cliffhanger. So you would want to get back to what you were just reading, but then the point of view chapter that you're reading right now is super exciting, and that one ends on a cliffhanger, so you want to get back to that one. I was always excited when a chapter ended to go into a new point of view. I think, oh, what am I gonna rate this? I think I'm gonna rate this 4 stars because, like I said, there's 5 points of view in here. However, one of them is like an extremely minor point of view that we only see a couple times. Then there's the 2 women in the female-female relationship who are like secondary characters. I just never really was super interested in them and their chapters. And then also Lynne, the Emperor's daughter, I didn't dislike her chapters, it just felt a little bit predictable. Her point of view is something that I feel like I've read a lot of, but Jovis, I loved his point of view. It was so good. I really, really liked his character. And the ending, I'm super excited by. I'm excited how all of these stories kind of came together. I'm very interested in the sequel and where the story is going. I sort of feel like this book was much more of like a setup kind of book and like setting up the sequel. I did have some theories. One of them I was correct on, but there was another that I was like shocked by. I'm very excited for that. So yeah, this was very successful. I want to say that I feel like if you liked Crier's War, which is a YA fantasy, and you're looking for an adult fantasy that kind of has similarities, I would recommend this. I got a lot of like those vibes, but just in like a more adult style. So there's that. And also, this was a very successful self-care day. I feel like I took very good care of myself. I treated myself a lot. I had a very relaxing, fun day. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!